Here
Hey,
comes,
there's Dylan Chamberlain.
yeah, see, another one that can rename themselves. Right? We'll teach
Yeah.
Marie to order because we didn't know who was coming and who wasn't coming. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my agenda on my phone. Like, I meant to print it.
So it looks like the first item is approval of minutes. We're a little bit back on that one. It says November's, December's, and January's.
Because we
But-
haven't had enough people, I think, each time, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
aren't we're still in that same boat right now, right?
How many people do we need to have?
No,
Here it is.
we're okay right now with 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're okay? Okay, perfect.
Because it's just Amy missing, right? And then we have an empty seat.
Yeah, we have an empty.
Yeah.
All right, so I can make a motion if you want to approve the minutes from November 9th, December 14th, and January 11th.
That would be great. I'll second that motion.
Fabulous.
I can mark us down as unanimous on that one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
pretty much, right? Unanimous. And then we could just, if you want, Anthony, if you want to just jump right into our current programs. I think it's pretty much the same as last time, right? We can talk, yeah. No, you can update us. That's some new stuff.
Yeah, there's a little bit of new stuff. So winter yoga, her second session is going on right now. There's 6 people participating, and that'll end on March 22nd. The hope is
Okay.
that the next class will look to go in person. So we'll try to look for somewhere. I'm thinking probably the academy will be our best bet.
Great.
The senior stretch class, I talked to Leslie the other day. So she has 18 registered, and 3 of those are Woodstock residents.
That's exactly what I was afraid of, which was why I was so hesitant on that. So are we splitting it with them?
We're splitting it, and I had to talk to her again because we kind of agreed upon that it won't be 50-50 if something like this happened. So I had to talk to her again to kind of get the exact amount.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was afraid of, that they were looking to us to help offset their cost of their program. And I just didn't see us getting a strong, like, Woodstock representation. And now then we're stuck with, paying for this instructor when it's not Woodstock residents.
Yeah.
That's
So I have to
just
talk to
not
her
cool.
again because
All
3,
right.
I kind of expected us to get around 3. I didn't think we'd get much more than that.
I honestly didn't think we would get much more than that either, which was why I was
Yeah.
feeling like almost as though it was really self-serving on their part to partner with us, because now, they got half their program paid for. But it's
Yeah, I mean,
really not servicing our residents.
They didn't really need our help if they could get 15 people.
Correct.
Did she say why she was reaching out in the first place? Because they already have Sarah teaching their rec yoga classes. So I feel
Right.
like they already have like a relationship with her and people that know her. So was there a reasoning that she came to you asking about partnering with Woodstock, or just looking for payment?
From my understanding, it was just to increase her numbers for the instructor.
Okay. All right. Well, just circle back and, maybe you can come up with a way to split it that's a little bit, fair based upon the fact that there's 18 people total and only 3 are from Woodstock. I mean, at least it should be them 75%, us 25.
Yeah. So I have to talk to her again to figure out that number, but we did kind of talk about that it wouldn't be 50-50 if something like this is what we expected to happen.
Okay. All right. Keep us posted.
Because that kind of brings us to the next thing, is because she's already talked about for next month. I guess she's kind of looking to kind of set dates in stone and see if we'd be interested in doing it again, and they'd look to add Pomfret onto it as well for March.
Again, I think let's see how they work a split with you. I just don't know why we should be helping to cover an instructor in another town unless we're getting like a strong participation. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I just think it's maybe not the best use of our dollars during a time where we're not making any revenue.
I know it's nice because if we're part of the partnership, then residents of Woodstock get that much lower cost. I forget.
Right.
Or
Oh,
they're free
substantial.
or, right. So I mean, it's nice for them, but yeah, as far as funding for our entire program, since we're not bringing in a lot of money, it might not be the year to do that for only a couple people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because
would,
I don't see us getting much more than 3.
well, that's what I was gonna ask. So if we can't, we'll have to figure out the cost sharing mechanism, but is there another way to drive enrollment and participation in the program on the other end to make
Right.
it more worthwhile? And then if they see this as being a regular partnership for like a series of classes, maybe there's a more equitable way of cost sharing the revenue or cost sharing or sharing the revenue across the 3 towns, across the whole program instead of the one class.
Right. We're not making any money from this, right, Anthony?
No, and that's kind of what I was going to get to next is she was kind of asking also our input and thoughts of for the next class, if we were to do it, did we want to do it free again? Or she was talking about maybe charging $10 to people participating in it to kind of
Right.
look to offset those costs.
They might get much lower numbers if they start charging. Like I think for the seniors, it is really nice to have something that's free for, any of the towns that they're residents of. I don't know what the numbers would look like if it suddenly wasn't a free program.
Yeah, would your 3 go to 0?
Right. That's what you
Possibly.
don't know. That's the risk, right? I mean, yeah, you might end up with nobody.
You definitely wouldn't have 18.
Right.
Is there still time for Woodstock seniors to participate in the program and join?
Yeah, so I think she said she could take up to 20 people. So they'll take anyone at any time up until 20 during the month of February.
But see, then it's capped at 20 people anyway. So realistically, like you're never going to have a bunch of Woodstock residents unless they're like first to hurry up and sign up because no matter what, it's capped at 20 people.
Yeah.
And then if you want to split the 20 people with Pomfret too, it's like that's even less chance of people participating. Am I wrong?
So you would cap the number of Woodstock people this term at 5 then, because there's only 2 spots left if she's got 18.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
the most that we could have for this session if we got
Yeah,
there.
that is not cost effective. And it's costing us how much again?
Uh,
200.
It's 320 total, so I have to figure out what our portion is going to be now that we only have 3 versus
Right, but I mean, she was looking to get a 50-50 split, so $160 for these 3 people, at most 5 people to be taking classes. I don't know, it seems like it's not really working and she could just do that on her own.
I would think they would have especially with Pomfret and the senior center, I think they could easily get to 20.
Yes.
Yeah, it might be better for her to just reach out to Pomfret for the next month and not have us participate.
I agree.
Yeah, just say that we just don't feel like we're getting enough representation from our town.
Yeah, I just put it under upcoming and I figured I can tell her yes or no and
Sure.
kind of I figured I'd bring it up here and see what everyone thought.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of what we expected. It's a lot less Woodstock.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, what about well, we just talked, you said adult winter yoga, that they're looking for a place, right?
Yeah, so that would be starting at I think that'll be the last week of March is when
Or is that the
session-
past program? I think we already went over how it did previously, right? We did that at our last meeting.
Yeah, I think we had like one more week after our last
Okay.
meeting, so it's basically the same thing as last time.
Okay. All right. Whatever happened with the cooking? Did it not fly?
So we only had one person sign up.
Boo. That sucks.
We
Okay.
wanted to sign up, but the time was funky for us after
Yeah.
school and during the transition, it wasn't a great time.
I know,
What
'cause
do
I
you-
thought about it too and felt like my boys do a couple after school library programs at 4, but they can do that independently when I'm cooking dinner, and to have something at 4 was tough. I think it was just a tough time of day during the week.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
think-
guys think would be like, as moms with younger kids like that we're trying to target? What do you think would be an ideal time to run a program like that? Because I still feel like it has some value.
I would probably do something on a weekend right now because we don't have all our sports and clubs and things that we normally would. And so we're looking for things to do on weekends because we're not doing anything that we normally would. And the weekdays
Okay.
is tough. I think it's like, because I'm home with them all day for the remote learning, and to then have another scheduled thing that I have to like be prepared for and
Right.
and still have to like get dinner ready, because if that necessarily didn't make like the whole dinner for our family, it was too much for me. But a weekend afternoon, we're pretty open now.
Ours is the same, and
Alright.
now just opened up a program. The Girl Scout Brownies are participating in it, and it's like cooking snacks, and they're doing it kind of Saturday mid-morning, and it's like smoothies and light stuff. But I'm with Marie Saturdays and Sundays. We have so much flexibility. The week after the remote learning day to go back online is a lot for them.
All right. So Anthony, that's good feedback then, to try to put together something and try it again. Did we send that home in the backpacks at school, or like how did we get that out to the schools?
So that went out through an email, but it went out late. I didn't hear back from the school until I think the Monday of the week the class was
Okay.
ending. So that probably hurt a little bit too.
I wonder
Yeah.
if PTO would put it on their Facebook page.
We sure
Maybe.
could.
All right.
Even
No
the
problem.
I-
the
that would be
Woodstock
fine.
Public School Parents group
Yeah.
could be a good one
Yes.
too.
Mhm.
Yes, I think we need to try again. I think you need to circle back with Holly and come up with a weekend date, either on a Saturday or Sunday, and just give it another try and try marketing it again and going through like the PTO to try to like get the word out there.
Yeah, because I left it with her that we would kind of talk about it again, but we were going to look to try and offer it like a different time and day of the week.
Yep.
So
That'd
I know
great.
she'd be interested in trying again.
I think that'll be great. And I think more notice will help too, because I knew about it and was like, I wonder when that's coming. Did I miss something? Because my kids aren't at the school, but normally a lot of stuff's coming in emails. And then when I got it, I'm like, oh, that's this week, or whenever it
Right.
was. So
Right. No, I definitely want to see that at least like try again, because I still think it's a good idea. We just might have missed the mark a little with the time.
The other thing
it'd be
maybe
worth looking into an adult thing too, maybe at some point. I think that
Yeah,
that's
we had
something that
talked about
people would
that.
enjoy.
Yep.
Because I talked to Barbara and Pomfret about it, and that's kind of was one of her suggestions. Is she said that she only does like the mommy and me class if it's in person. All of her virtual cooking classes are adult.
All right. So maybe circle back with Holly and change our focus. We could change our focus.
And I don't think it hurts to try a kid one. I think it's just the day of the week was the toughest
Right.
part. But I think, and she can decide, or we could look at different options, because mommy and me, or even just that tween age, there are kids that are taking like online cooking classes, the ones that are say 7th, 8th graders or something, that they can do it independently as long as you get the stuff ahead of time for them. So there's a lot of different options, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Saturday or Sunday would be kind of a perfect time frame.
Yeah, I think let's try. Let's try. What was the virtual art class about?
So that was what we talked about last meeting. I reached out to Myra, and then I also reached out to Rachel Budd, and both kind of expressed a little bit of interest. Rachel seemed to be more interested than Myra. Myra had a few questions about kind of what we were looking to run, what time and kind of costs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know
Myra,
you said that.
Was it
that-
Mrs. Pratt? Is that who?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that you had said that I was glad you did reach out to Rachel again, because how you asked her last year. And last year she was teaching stuff at Board and Paint, and she was teaching after school art classes at the school. But now that everything's so different and Board and Paint isn't open, and she's now going to be teaching it, or she now is teaching at the academy, I think elementary or middle school kids would be so happy to see her and take a class with her online, and she's so good with them. That if
Oh, I
she
didn't
is
realize
interested-
that she wasn't at the elementary school anymore.
It just happened mid-January. They sent out a notice and said she has accepted a job at the academy. So the kids, I mean, there were so many kids that enjoyed having her as a teacher, and there were kids that took an after-school art class with her. Jenna was letting her teach classes there, like after school is a kind of a club thing, but it was, paid lessons. And so
Yep.
there's definitely interest that I think there would be kids that would be happy and families that would pay to do a class with her. And
That's
she's
great.
done so much online when she was the art teacher at the elementary school. Ever since everything went remote, she would provide so many activities online. So she seems pretty comfortable with it.
Great.
Yeah,
And maybe think about, like you suggested for the cooking, something on the weekend
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
isn't,
her-
That probably
Saturday
works for her.
morning or something.
Rachel
Mhm.
said weekends might work, but during the weekday was kind of what would be best with her schedule.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
she
Do the
might.
middle-
I can reach out to her again and see if like a Saturday would work.
Do the middle school and high school have the same truncated Wednesday schedule that the elementary school has? Like Wednesdays, my girls are always done by noon, if not
12:30,
10:30
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, the
So-
middle school is short too. They have to like check into homeroom, and then the rest of the day is really extra help time
Yeah.
on Wednesdays. So but now Rachel's at the high school, so hers is different. She's not on that schedule.
Okay.
Right, but there's still, Wednesdays are still a half day.
So I wonder if we had to pick a weekday afternoon to do like drawing with Miss Bud or something, maybe a Wednesday is kind of the magic day in there.
Right.
That may
Yeah,
work.
and what-
Yeah. I don't know
what
what the
that is-
teachers are required like for hours, but
Yeah,
I don't know either. Now, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just know it's like they get out at 12:30 now. Who
Yeah, 'cause
knows? It
it's a lot of-
changes all the time.
yeah, every day, every week is different. But it is more of an
Right.
office hour thing on Wednesdays, I think, for the academy teachers. I just don't know like technically what her hours have to be that she has to be.
Right.
Still
Logged
available.
in.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I
it
know
is,
she
that is a
said
good
that-
thought.
The only thing is that it would be, I guess, with her schedule since she just started. She said it would have to be more towards the end of March, beginning of April.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a lot of time to promote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
gives us plenty of time to get the word out. And her
Yep.
idea was trying to go with like a garden theme, either drawing or watercolor painting was her idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun. That's great.
I love
I think
it.
there'll be a lot of interest. I really think that's something that will be easy to get people.
Signed up.
Yeah, and I think the easier the better, because I think you want to kind of have everyone just have their own material, so you don't want to have people go buy a bunch of things. So the drawing, I think, would be easy to do.
Yes.
She actually also, when she was teaching the kids, always said if you didn't have watercolors, she showed them how to do it with markers. So she's good about that, not expecting them to like go get other materials. So.
Great. That sounds
so I-
promising.
I could touch base with her again, and then Myra, I'll talk to her again. The way I kind of proposed it was maybe Rachel does like elementary school and Myra can do middle school if she's still interested. Since I asked both of them, I don't really want to say no to one of them if they have interest in it.
I don't know if Myra actually will want to anyway, just because I don't think she really likes doing any of this stuff online. So
Yeah, there's a little bit of hesitation there, so that I think Rachel will be in for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit that one out. Any other program ideas that you can think of?
The only thing that came up as a possibility down the line is Putnam is doing food drive. So they have a trailer that's coming in. I think it's like 1,300 boxes of food, and they're gonna come twice a month until the end of April. And in the meeting for that rec directors, they're kind of looking for alternative locations and maybe other towns down the road to kind of take the weight off of everything they're going to have to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about maybe if they need help going back to the fair and trying to do it there again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, what you did before. Yep. They just need constables. More
Yeah,
constables. That was a nightmare. I only happened to be stuck in traffic, not understanding what was happening that day. And the flow of traffic was just not good. Not good at all. So I think just thinking about if it's at the fairgrounds, just having more, you need a constable up by where Garden Gate was on that corner where people are coming from 169 to 171. Like you need a constable. It's not 171. I guess it's 169 and 171.
Mhm.
You need a constable there. That was a huge issue.
yeah.
And they didn't have one, so that would just be my only suggestion.
Yeah, so we talked about that as a possibility. I'm not sure if they're going to need help with it. Right now, they're using the Putnam Middle School, which is kind of a good location for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. That's a lot of food.
Yeah, that's a pretty big event.
It's amazing. Very
And
cool.
what they said is, even though it's in Putnam, they're going to open it up to all those surrounding communities. So it's something that we'll promote here too as well.
Great. That's awesome. Excellent.
So that was kind of the only big thing. There wasn't really much in that meeting. I mean, everyone's kind of on hold. There's not really a whole bunch of programs going on for any towns.
Right. So it's not as though towns are doing stuff and we're sitting it out. Everyone's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, it was just pretty much Killingley has a bunch going on. Pomfret didn't have much. Thompson had a few things, but they're kind of more or less looking to the spring for their events.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what we just start doing is looking ahead. Did you give any more thought to the road race?
So I talked to Jay briefly, and I think as of right now, we wouldn't hold the race or the parade.
Okay.
I mean, I
Bummer.
don't, unless things change, which they probably won't by then. But I think it's pretty much we would look to cancel that event as well.
Okay. That's too bad.
But I have until
I get it.
I probably have until like middle of March till I have to do any of the permits. So there's still a little bit of time, but I don't see things changing for Memorial Day where we could have that many people for an event.
Okay.
But at least we could still do like, I mean, we can still do the tag sale again in June. We can do the cleanup in April.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
I'll
that'll be
talk
something.
to Lori again and see where we're at with the movies over at Roseland Cottage.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be great to kind of start working on that earlier rather than later.
Yeah, because we've been talking a little bit about summer concerts and kind of trying to put that together as well.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, I feel like we're doing all we probably can be doing. We'll meet again in a month and see if we can brainstorm any other ideas. But for now, I'd love to see you get the at least virtual cooking going in some capacity and maybe solidify the art classes coming up for spring. Those
Yeah,
are
I'll talk to
two
Holly and I'll
great
talk to
programs.
Rachel and figure those out kind of this week and try to set dates.
Right. Would anyone do like a babysitter training online?
I could see if she's offering that online. I know they've been doing it like back in person and I think Thompson had a class.
Well, maybe we want to think about offering that, a babysitter training again, even if it is in person. If the town hall would, let us utilize the space or some sort of virtual, that could be great.
Yeah, or I could talk to Amy for the Grange. I feel like the town hall probably is going to say no.
Right, but the Grange, maybe they could use the upstairs or.
Yeah.
We'll want to
Yeah.
have lots of babysitters trained and ready for when things open back up because there
People
will
can
be
go out.
demand.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you can advertise it.
Yes.
Anthony, was there someone that you had mentioned at one of the meetings that was possibly interested in joining our committee? Was there someone that were going to reach
Yeah.
out to, or you already did?
John Murdoch, I reached out to him. He said he was gonna get the paperwork back to me, and that was in mid-January, and I never heard back from him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just because I'm thinking when we get to the, we have the meetings where we can't vote or can't approve anything if we're short someone, or, or my computer's updating and I can't get on.
Right, and you can't get on.
Yeah.
Right, it
Yeah,
would be
so-
good to have a backup.
Yeah, and I mean, I could post that like on Facebook or something, just saying that we have a vacancy and looking for anyone who's interested.
So if we think of someone and want to reach
Yeah.
out to them, we can direct them to you if,
Yeah, or if you know anybody that's interested, yeah, just have them reach out to me, and I can send them that paperwork they'd have to fill out.
okay.
All right. That's good, but I think we should probably advertise it for it.
Mhm.
Let people know.
Yeah, because it'd be easier to have 5 again.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, anything else, anybody?
Got nothing.
No? Should we make a motion?
I think so. I'll make a
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
We'll call it
I'll
7:20.
Second it,
All right.
7:28, yep. Second that motion.